Warning: the following program may contain material not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Kill the noise and cut the static. Broadcasting from high in the mountains of West Virginia, we're leaving the 9 to 5 in the rearview mirror. The engine is warm, the lights are green, and it's finally time to shift your Wednesday into overdrive. And now, here's your host, Diego the Podcaster.
On this episode of Bonus Overdrive Wednesday, after 25 years as a professional heavy drummer, our guest transitioned to the mic, creating his iconic horror host persona and building the Ford podcast, Reaper's Underground Network. His deep-rooted passion for the horror scene soon launched an acting career. You've seen him in Attack of the Corn Zombies, Grind, The Slab, Creep Footage, Sssstoner Snake, Rotten to the Core, and Not There. Now he's taken the next major step, writing and directing his very first feature film in May of 2027. All this plus more. Please welcome our new friend and first-time guest. He's the true titan of the underground, Steve Reaper Livengood. Steve, my friend, welcome to Bonus Overdrive Wednesday.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure being here.
Oh, no, man, the pleasure's all on this side of the table, as that one famous movie we all love says. And this is awesome. As I'm reading your bio and getting to know you a little bit more on the pre-interview, and then, like I said, the information that you sent me, there is so much here to cover. And I'm going to try to get you out of here somewhat at a good time. I know you're very busy because you're recording another episode of your show. So let's start with that. Let's talk about your shows and what is it called?
I started Reaper's Underground. It was one podcast show, and it was on a completely different network. It's not even around anymore. But I got to start right after I did a promo interview for my band's record at the time, because I was doing a lot of interviews about Black Tar Superstar and the Black Flame album. And afterwards, they were like, you have a great personality. We think you would be great to do a show on our network. And I was like, well, I never thought about that, but it might be kind of fun. I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it my way. And I want it to focus on the best art in the underground. That's music, that's film, artists, tattoo artists, sideshow performers, authors, photographers, like everything, just because I want to be like that voice for the underground to push out artists that the rest of the country or the world otherwise wouldn't know exists. So if it's something that strikes me and I really dig what they're doing, I put it together. But I kind of developed a look that kind of blends my love of the classic horror host and then a tribute to one of my favorite metal icons, King Diamond. And that's how the Reaper persona was created.
I was just listening to Abigail the other day.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I try to get the wife into it. She's just kind of getting into some things, but I think it's
falsetto is, it's not for everybody.
No, but it makes sense. Yeah,
no, it totally makes sense. He's the man of 1,000 voices. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to meet a fellow King Diamond fan, and then we could probably go into the whole Merciful Fate one day. We'll have conversations.
Absolutely. That's actually how I originally discovered King, was through Merciful Fate. So I say, we were kids of the greatest decade in history, which was the 80s.
Oh yeah,
not just for music, but for horror film. We ruled that entire decade. And we did pretty good in the 90s too, but things kind of got not too creative. But anyway, so I started, interviewing a lot of the bands that were on the same label that we were, to try to help push the label. And then I got to know a few actors and actresses that are in indie film. had them on, and they really enjoyed that. And then the directors started reaching out to me. And then I moved my show to my own network under the flagship of Black Flame Entertainment. And I just kept it going. I had just that show, but then I developed a metal show because I wanted to do something just dedicated to metal, not just the history of metal, but also newer bands coming out, underground bands too, called Tracks of the Damned, which is now known as The Void. I just changed that name. So I was doing those two shows consecutively, and then I ended up creating a horror show. I was like, you know what? We don't have a show on the network that focuses just on horror. So I got a co-host with me to do that show, and his name's Aaron Markham. He plays the character of Mortimer Deadfellow. And what we do is we review independent horror. We talk about independent horror on streaming platforms, films coming out. Obviously, we pay tribute to a lot of the great films as well, but it really does kind of focus more on the independent horror because, I mean, Evil Dead was one of the greatest, independent horror films of all time. Very, very low budget, as well as the original Texas Chainsaw and Halloween. Both of those films did not have large budgets. But we focus, like Lloyd Kaufman and the Toxic Avenger, films like that. I mean, he really paved the way for all of these filmmakers coming up. And then I don't know, this one day I was like, there's just one more show that I would like to do. Because people, I've noticed my fans, my viewers that tune in all the time, they love our little comedy bits here and there. So I was like, well, how about we do a show that's more like a variety show where I got the idea to kind of react, and it's very interactive with the audience, called The Goddamn Program. And we cover the crazy, weird, screwed up shit that you see in your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed. And I mean, it just built it. It caught fire real quick, and has become one of the biggest shows on the network. So that's kind of how that happened.
Well, a lot to unpack there, and I'm going to pick apart some of those things, not in a bad way, but I do have some follow-up questions with that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the comedy bits, and you're looking at things on Instagram. Very interesting, because just the other day, I see a lot of real messed up shit on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Not on purpose. Sometimes it just happens. Not a creep, not that kind of creep, at least.
No, the thing is, our phones are always listening to us. So if we said something, all of a sudden it shows up in a feed.
Yeah, and it also shows things I already purchased. But anyway, that's one of those things.
Love it.
I did a thing, and this is a true story. So, and I'm gonna tell you how we got here, because my page got flagged.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I see a lot of messed up things on Instagram, Facebook, and X, whatever. Right? Things 10 times worse than what I put on here. Now I'm getting to your page could be banned for XYZ. Right?
Right.
I don't know if you've experienced this yet. I did earlier this year, because I have another show where I cover topics of UFOs, Bigfoot, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And something hit pretty hard where I couldn't post for like 2 weeks. That's a story for another day.
And I'm sure it was something very simple.
It was. And then this time it was based, it was kind of like a joke, but it's based on a true story. It goes kind of like this. Just the other day, I went to the eye doctor, right? This is not a joke. This is not like a dad joke. I have hundreds of them, I can tell you.
I appreciate them.
Oh, thank you. So top to bottom, I went there and I said, well, you need to change your prescription and all that. Of course, I'm getting older. I'm way over half a century old at this point. I said, give me the best ones you have. Give me them Buddy Holly looking ones. I want to look like I want to look like I'm going to go out there and beat someone's ass. Give me the Buddy Holly ones. She looks at me, right? Like with this pale faced. I see her doing this on a laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I have to look up who Buddy Holly is. Like, oh, well, it was, but okay, well, thank you. Here's my money. Let me go home.
Right.
Fast forward the next day, I tell my boss, I went to the eye doctor and all that jazz. She goes, good, because them Jeffrey Dahmer ones you have on, it's about time you got rid of them.
Oh, no.
All right. So I went on Facebook. I think it's funny. I normally don't post personal stuff on my show page.
Right.
I said, boss says get rid of those ridiculous Jeffrey Dahmer eyeglasses you have on, right? Not even an hour after that post got taken down. I got taken to the woodshed.
Yeah.
I'm very long-winded with this one. I'm almost lost in my own story. I almost forgot what I was going to say. But my question to you is, when you're reviewing these videos or these reels, are you playing them on your...
We play them on the show.
Okay, so...
For the whole viewers to watch.
All right. Well, that's why I'm asking. Could you probably play some of it on your Facebook? Have you gotten hit with anything?
I've kind of been known now as the Howard Stern of horror because my fight, my war with Facebook is very well documented over the last 6 years since I've been doing these shows. They'll cut they won't let my show air live, but YouTube always shows it. But it'll show, because I run 2 different Facebook pages, the Black Flame Entertainment, Reapers Underground. So they're supposed to shoot out to both of those pages all at the same time, as StreamYard does. And it just got to be this thing like, okay, so are we going to be live on the page tonight? Which one got it, which one didn't? And then we have to, spend the first 5 minutes of the show going, okay, they fucked with us again. So here's where we're going to be. And check us out, dude. I've gotten flagged for the dumbest stuff. One of the things I love to do is superimpose my Reaper character in other photos. I got nailed for looking like I was about to destroy Mariah Carey because the joke is, come October, oh no, she's coming back up again to sing that damn Christmas song we all hate. And they nailed me for that. They nailed me for a doom metal post that I put up. I just thought this thing was hilarious. It was Elmo. And it was like Elmo before discovering, doom metal. And then there's a picture of Elmo after discovering Black Sabbath. And his face is down in a plate full of white powder. And they said that I was trying to promote drug use and things of that nature. I'm like, you realize that's a meme and that it's a joke. And I mean, they've suspended me. There were, in any industry, there's always going to be jealousy. I've had a bunch of haters report my personal page of all things. My original Steve Livengood page was completely eradicated. I could not get it back. And I started a new one about a year or 2 ago. And got all my friends and stuff back. Now, maybe the bots are like, okay, yeah, this guy's an actor. This is what he does, blah, blah, blah. And they're leaving me alone. It's just every now and again, these bots will come up and flag your stuff for the dumbest things, especially, something that maybe you posted a year ago. I've had that happen too.
Oh, wow. Yeah. People go back in time and just to find something. And they'll also leave some of them fake ass reviews on you too. Like, you don't even listen to the show, bro. What is this? But now we've established that there are some hurt feelings out there and talking about jealousy, and some of these bots are probably just, I don't know, people get bored. But let's go back.
They do.
Your metal show, because that's my life. I love metal. From the cradle to the grave. Every once in a while, I'll split up, I'll listen to something different, take a break.
Hell yeah.
I've noticed something this past few years, because I also have bands come on this show, and
nice.
I love discovering new things. And I'm thinking to myself, why aren't they bigger than they should be? Right? And it's almost, I can equate this to even bands that were being played in Headbangers Ball in the 80s. If they did it, it would have been a fluke. Like say a band like EZO would have never really played on MTV, not on a heavy rotation, but damn well they were good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes me back to the days to where I used to go to the used record stores, and
those were the best.
Yeah,
I still love going to them.
Yeah, and you knew that you were going to discover something good. And the way the music scene is now, and thankfully, you have things like Bandcamp, you have the internet, and all these things that help promote.
Luckily,
self-promoting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's given me the feels of It's like, I'm not saying the 80s is coming back, but 80s will always be here in some sort of fashion.
Kinda, yeah.
But it's giving me the feels of the old Metal Blade record days, Combat, Music for Nations, Road Racer, Roadrunner, where they had these amazing bands, but nobody was bringing them up in topic, which is probably what I love about what you're doing, because you're doing the same thing. You hear these bands, like, I got to have them on the show. So who have you had on in the past few episodes?
Let's see. I mean, I've had kind of a plethora. So I've had, let's see, Mother Iron Horse, Leather Lung. I've had a lot of Tommy Stewart's bands, including his, Tommy Stewart's Dire Wolf. Let's see, not Burning Witches. There's a band that has witch in the title. I've had them on. But I've also been on the other spectrum of it. I've had Eerie Von on the show. I've had John Christ on the show from the original Danzig days. I've had the drummer. What's his name? He was Testament's drummer. He was also in Death. Gene Hoglan. I had him on the show. That was a phenomenal interview. Really enjoyed that. My band's been on there. A band from California, Sensation. A lot of death metal, a lot of black metal bands. I've also had the lead singer of Morbid Angel, Dave, on the show. David is a fantastic guy. And, you know, it's great that they've had the career that they've had and still been able to do it with not being heavily promoted. And that's kind of the thing. You're talking about how metal is today. I mean, when I was coming up, you know, doing the small regional circuits and then starting to really expand and go further out, we had to do everything, man. We had to go out there. We had to nail those posters to the telephone poles. We had to put flyers on people's cars. It was terrible. We didn't have an agent. We didn't have a manager. We didn't have nothing. And that's how a lot of bands are today. They don't have that. But they are, you know, doing distribution deals. Anymore, it's like no one really messes with record companies unless it's a distribution kind of deal. They do put some promo behind them, but they're not throwing big money at them. It's more of like a 50-50 kind of thing nowadays. Plus, you know, that's one of the great tools of the internet is the fact that you got DistroKid. You can do it yourself. And I've seen bands that are promoting machines. And that's kind of been one of my biggest roles in my entire metal career. Nobody wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, well, I want us to get somewhere. So I was out there selling tickets. I was, you know, just promoting all over the place. Facebook, what was it before Facebook? MySpace,
Yeah.
MySpace, Reverb Nation, all those, you know, beginning sites. And by the time I got close to the end of my career with and joining Black Tar Superstar, we actually got a distribution deal with Kingside Records out of Florida, and we were able to get vinyl. We were able to get our CDs done. We still toured on our own. We didn't have any agent or anything like that, but I would make those relationships. And that's why I say, you know, everybody talks about COVID as being one of the worst times in America. Bullshit. If you were a creative of any kind of art, that was the best time, because all you could do is be on the internet all day long, forming those relationships, making connections, and pushing your stuff out. Like, you know, Instagram was actually the biggest tool. Facebook, not so much. Bands don't really succeed that much on Facebook unless you already have a huge following. On Instagram, algorithm is better, and you're able to talk to fans all day long, you know, and that's how you built your followings during that time. And that's what happened with Black Tar. You know, we ended up having quite a following in the UK, Germany, France, all over the place. So I I think that's kind of the spirit of the 80s, is the fact that they're doing it on their own today.
Yeah.
And I salute them. I really do, because I've been there for almost 30 years. And it took forever to get anywhere, honestly, at all. You either had to be at the right place at the right time, or your look, or this or that. Nowadays, the music business, I'm glad I'm out.
Yeah, but what you said earlier, you're right. The whole COVID thing, as much as it sucked,
Yeah.
that's how I got started in podcasting. Me and a partner.
Nice.
And then a year and a half later, broke off into myself. But that was the time to do it. Yeah, you're right. I've known folks that either became authors during that time, or
Sure.
they started writing their second and third books. And then that's how it went. It was terrible, but at the same time, for those who are content creators, probably the best thing that could ever happen to them.
Absolutely.
And which brings me to, I don't know, you got 4 shows. I'm already struggling at 2. I don't know how 4 goes, but that's all right. You got a lot of energy. You can definitely make that happen. But let's talk about life prior to this, because 25 years as a heavy drummer. So for those out there, and including myself, who are not too familiar with what we think it is, but I'm pretty sure it's not what it is. So can you explain to us what a heavy drummer is?
Oh, a professional heavy metal drummer. I've played in mostly death metal bands. The one that I'll skip ahead a little bit, because I've played so many different acts over time. But the first one that actually really hit was Hellbent. It was very much a Pantera kind of style of a band, but a little bit more death. For sure. And we ended up, we got on a small indie label in Ohio at the time. We toured regionally. We toured the whole state, the North and the South, everything in between, a few of the surrounding states, but that was about as far as it went. And then, we were kind of getting somewhere, which is when we opened up for Lamb of God in a small place called Peabody's, or no, it wasn't Peabody. It was the Agora in Cleveland. And that was kind of a defining moment for us, because if you get a nod from them, and Lamb of God was not that big back then. It was early 2000s, and it was wild, just wild to us. But our singer ended up going into the National Guard, and so we had to, figure out what we were going to do. We ended up changing the name and became just a little bit more, I guess you could say, commercial. It wasn't quite metalcore, but there was clean singing. So you had that like balance between screaming and actual melodic singing. And that band did really well too. I'm trying to remember the damn name of it, but Lies Within. That was the name of the band. And that had most of the original members from Hellbent in it. And we went through a bunch of singers. But after a while, just kind of fizzled out, musical differences or whatever. And then I joined a deathcore band called Twisted Asylum. And that's kind of when Reaper was first born, because they were very much into the mask idea, because, Slipknot was just starting to get popular at the time, and they dug it, but they wanted to do something darker, a little bit more evil. So I was like, okay, nailed the audition, got into it. And they're like, well, each of us has a stage name, so you need to pick one. I said, well, first of all, I'm not putting a fucking mask on. I am a drummer. I am under the hot lights on the drum riser, and I will just cook back there. We're not doing that. So I said, I will do face paint. And I came up with the not so much corpse, style makeup. I started out very simple, doing like black around the eyes and making it look like, black goo is coming out, and then drench my whole head in blood. And I was like, well, what's your name going to be? I said, you know what? Reaper. And they said, well, why you pick that? I said, every night I'm literally killing the crowd with my drumming. And it just kind of stuck from there. And the next thing I know, anywhere I go around town, everyone's like, "Hey, Reaper." I'm like, "I'm just the drummer. You remember? How do you know me?" And I swear for like the next 5-6 years, I hadn't really heard my government name much. And I took that all the way into my final band, which was Black Tar Superstar, which is a doom metal band. And I think that's why we did as well as we did. We were very, very heavy for a doom metal band, but very slow, very sludgy, giving you all those elements of Sabbath down. We were just absolute down freaks. So we had a little bit of that Southern edge in there too. Yeah. So the makeup just over time just constantly started to evolve. And then when I got into podcasting, it evolved even more to what it is today. And I've been podcasting now for 6 years. It's crazy. Never thought I would have made it this long.
We're twinsies. Yeah. You and I both about going into our 6th year. It's a crazy world. And,
it is.
And we're going to talk about evolution. We're going to talk about the evolution of how you got into horror and acting, but I'm going to ask you a couple more things about the podcasting because now you're singing my song there. One of the things I've noticed, and even more this year than the prior years, there's been a lot of challenges when it comes to podcasting, and not only running multiple shows, but also keeping a schedule and getting the guests to commit. What's the hardest part about podcasting? And I'll tell you, for me, and it's been more so this year than before, but the amount of no-shows, and there's always going to be cancellations, but the amount of no-shows.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? I mean, do I put them on blast or not? So, that says more about me than the person, but I'm just going to leave that alone and never contact them again.
The way I always looked at that, like people would be like last second or, supposed to be here. Like the guy from Mayhem, I was supposed to interview. We had everything through their agent, and the lead guitarist was supposed to do it. And we're sitting there waiting, clock's running. Okay, we're half hour. Now we're 45 minutes. What the hell's going on here? And then you never hear from them. It's like, well, you got to understand how many different channels there are for certain guests. But I think how I look at it is you can tell which artists are serious and hungry. They will always make sure that they're there, to do the show, or they make it up to me. They'll be like, "Hey, so sorry about that." And then we have the show, and then, another day, and it's really good. But some of them, it's like, they just slump it off like, "Okay, I'm just nobody." Right. You kind of get to a point where you pick and choose who you want to deal with.
Yeah.
I think after that,
I've had cancellations, and I was like, I'll do like a 3-strike rule kind of thing.
No, that makes perfect sense.
But as far as the no-shows, it's a one-time deal. Blew your shot, that was it. And then unless it's a hell of a excuse, but then again, it's okay. We move on. We have people we know, we bring them on last minute. They're always happy to come on.
Definitely.
Now, you've been in the heavy metal scene for a very long time. You've been podcasting for 6 years. Now we're going to get into the whole part of how you got involved. We all love horror. I grew up probably the same horror movies you did. For me, like mid to late 70s, 80s, early 90s to mid 90s, it's prime horror movie for everybody. It's probably the best time to be a horror movie fan.
Definitely.
Eventually, it starts influencing you. You want to be part of that. You want to be part of the films. You want to be creative. You want to be a character. When did you get involved? What was your first film, and how did you get involved with it?
Well, I'm going to take it back just a little bit further because I always think it's a unique story, because when I tell people this, they're like, really? So, for instance, these two passions of mine, which is metal and horror, were born at the same time when I was 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I heard Black Sabbath's Iron Man for the first time on vinyl from We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll double vinyl. And I immediately was like, I want to do that. I got pencils out. I was beating on, empty tin cans and trying to play along with it and stuff. And then my mom, that was back when TV was edited for television. They would put movies on and you'd have to wait all week long until they show it because there really wasn't any cable at the time. And she's like, "Oh, my favorite movie is on TV. Let's watch it. You're old enough now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. It's edited for television, so I can't get in trouble for anything bad in it." And it turned out to be Halloween, 1978. And from there, I was like, "But I want to do that too." And then I started watching all of the Universal monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein. Matter of fact, Frankenstein is kind of like my spirit animal, I guess you could say. I don't know. He's very relatable to me. He's made up of like 7 different people. There are 7 different layers to me. I've just always kind of felt that way. And the thing was, obviously getting into music was easy. Start playing in the school band. Next thing you know, you're in, what's it called? Marching band in high school. And I did that all 4 years. And then I got into, obviously, orchestra band, symphony band, concert band, and jazz band. And jazz was the thing that really influenced me the most. And I took what I learned from that and put it together with metal. And of course, I had all different kinds of bands that I was playing in high school. And then my band director came up to me one day and says, "You could get a career out of this. You should go to college. You should go to music school." So I went to Kent State University and chased the hell out of that dream. And then that led to my professional career, playing all over the United States. And honestly, I didn't really think about acting much, but I was definitely still watching all my favorites and a lot of the stuff that was coming out. But it's always kind of been there, that passion, because as a kid, I would practice Jason Voorhees' movements. When I would come down a set of stairs, I would do it like Michael Myers does it, Creature features were big time. I loved them. I always love zombies and the way they move and how they can instill fear and all that stuff. So I found myself at 44 years old. And I actually was a high school music teacher. I did that until I was 44, along with the metal drumming on the weekends. I was like, you know what? My back and my knees just can't take touring anymore. And I was like, I'm starting to notice, from talking to some of the different actors and stuff and the independent directors that came on my show, it's a little bit easier to get into it than I thought, because 15 years ago, you couldn't get into independent film. You had to have an agent, everything, the whole nine. All of a sudden, it's like this world is completely opened on Facebook. Honestly, I started doing some horror modeling because my wife was like, she was doing it, and she's like, "You would be really good for this too," especially with my Reaper look and the costuming and stuff that I've started doing for that. And I found myself on the cover of some magazines, some alt model magazines. And there was a director that had come on the show. I think it was Ryan Cavalley from Legend Hunter Films. And he was like, you got a great look. You should be doing film. I was like, I've always had that burning desire. And then all of a sudden I found a casting call for zombies on Facebook, because I had connected with Acrostar and Ann Myrna, S.J. Herman. And they're like, "We need tons of zombies. Come get, all nastified and bloodied up and get ready to eat some, flesh and stuff on camera." I said, "This is my moment."
Shut up and take my money.
Well, and that was the thing. It was an extra. So I didn't have to pay for it, and they didn't pay me. Mm-hmm. I said, well, I got to start somewhere. And if this is what I got, this is the time. So I tramps my ass up through a huge, terrible storm up to Farmer City, Illinois, which is where it was shot. And I just had a blast. I was like, everyone was like, oh, don't put a whole lot of blood on me. I said, you see this dome? I want you to drop it all over it. Make me nasty. Okay. I just loved every minute of it. And, I talked to the director at the end of it and I said, you got something special on your hands. I don't think you know it. He's like, you think? I'm probably only going to do one. And I was like, I'm telling you, I know a good movie when I see it. And from there on Reaper's Underground, I started doing appearance tours with Villain Arts tattoo conventions. And now I'm doing horror cons too. And I would literally get DVD copies, go and push the hell out of it, sell it, along with some pictures of Reaper, and I'll sign everything for you. Next thing you know, this thing blows the hell up. He put it on YouTube. He wasn't even going to do, DVD copy or anything like that, or even want to put it, distribution like on Tubi or anything. It got over 25,000 views on it. He's like, Reaper, you were right. Like, well, yeah, because, what actor doesn't want their film to be successful? And unfortunately, there's not a lot of actors that push like I do. But I had that marketing thing. I'm like, this is my only film so far. I want it to hit really good. So I got back into my metal mode of thinking, I need to be doing videos. I need to be doing lives. I need to do behind the scenes stuff. I need to push this movie all over the place. Pictures of me as the zombie in it from different scenes, different stills. And this thing just blew up, and he made a second one, Revenge of the Corn Zombies. Oh, no, Return of the Corn Zombies. And I, unfortunately, was only in that one for a little bit because they were shooting the same time. I had to go do a film called Killer Cocks, just when you thought, it was safe to go back to the chicken coop, which is a comedy horror. And oddly enough, I play myself. They wanted me to play myself. So Reaper is in that battling mutant chickens. But yeah, that's how I got started, man. And right around that time, after working with AcroStars, other directors got to kind of know me and was like, wow, I see this dude. He's got independent actors and crew members and shit coming on his show. And he's, advertising, showing trailers for their films. We need to get this guy because, independent films, we rely on what? Crowdfunding, the horror community. And the only way to do that is to be out there pushing it like it's crack. You know what I mean? And I got picked up for Grind. And that's my biggest claim to fame thus far, is the fact that I was Ginger Lynn's body double.
I can see that.
You're right.
Yeah, no.
Most people do. No, she gets gooed by one of the little demon helpers in the film Grind, and then what she turns into is me. I find myself in a 9-foot creature outfit that I couldn't even see out of the mask, but I did it, and it was a blast. And I ended up doing a couple different roles in there too. Playing like part of the horde of zombies that get transformed in the movie theater, all that kind of stuff. So, and that just got released and it's been doing amazing. It's on Fossum right now.
Man, what a great story. Right. I'm like, wow, that's pretty damn interesting how it went, because you're taking years of experience in one scene and it's translating into another thing. And as you just keep building your brand, your career. So now we get to the part where you are acting, you have your podcasts. But you're going to do this yourself now. You're going to write and produce your own film. And
yeah,
now,
after 40 titles, I'm taking the plunge.
That's okay, man. Take that nesty plunge, like they used to say back in the day. And not to give too much away, I don't like spoilers, but what do you got cooking, man? What's going on over there in your mind?
So I wrote, oddly enough, this story back during COVID time 6 years ago. It's a short story called The Contract. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of horror, but I am also a huge fan of mafia movies. I love Goodfellas. I love The Godfather. I love Casino, and all the great ones that we've watched, The Departed, and stuff like that. And I was a huge fan of The Sopranos. As a matter of fact, I go back and binge that whole show all the time. Right along with my Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But I said, well, wouldn't it be interesting? Like, we've had many demon films throughout horror history, but I ain't never seen anyone do it mafia style. So I got this idea, and of course, I'm very big into the occult and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'll put some factual things in there that I can do, and then, kind of build this demonic demon mafia family. Everybody that works at the Inferno Bar, which is the center of the film. Much like in The Sopranos, Tony Soprano hung out at his strip club all the time. Well, this is not a strip club because I don't really do the nudity thing all that much. I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense. But if it doesn't, I don't need it. So I got the idea of making the Inferno Bar a goth club. So what perfect place for demons to hide in plain sight. And then, of course, naming the town, a small town. I live in a small town, and I love horror movies that are based in small towns because it just makes it that much more terrifying. It's not like being in a city, and that's where like too much comedy and shit can come into play. I'm like, everyone's doing comedy horror. I don't want to do that. I want to do something serious. Let's give the horror community something more serious. And, here we are in Black Flame Hills. And this place on 12th Street just suddenly pops up out of nowhere. And it's called the Inferno. And the idea I kind of got from my years when I owned a couple of different nightclubs when I was really much younger, because I'll be turning 50 this November. But I was like, being a bartender, people that come in there, they literally come and drown their sorrows. Like, they will tell you their entire life story. And that's when I developed the character of Milton, played by Aaron Markham, who is more than just a bartender. He is my consigliere and my sorcerer. And he's the one who kind of attracts the souls to make contracts using this card right here. Let's see if I can get it into view. There it is. Movie prop. And as soon as you get served the Inferno Red, you just might find yourself in the service of demons. And it's got a lot of just an amazing cast. Caitlin Stack, Joe Rosing. It's got Robert Mukes from House of a Thousand Corpses. Brink Stevens, who we know is legendary Scream Queen from Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl-orama, which is wild to me because I'm fans of both of them. But since I've been doing these conventions the last 4 years, I got to know Robert really well. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. I was like, dude, I need to get you in this movie. He's like, let me know, man. I'm there for you. And I got some newer talent that, they haven't been in anything big independent wise. So I feel like I'm pulling in a really good crowd for this cast. Shonda Rawlings also is in the film. And of course, I'm not only directing it, I've written it, and I'm also starring in it too. So I'm the head demon. His name is Floros. So basically, long story short, he wants Angelique's soul really bad, but so does Lucifer. So it's kind of like a rush to the blood moon to see who's going to get that soul in the end.
Man, I'm already looking forward to it. It seems like it's something that sounds. I mean, I think it's something that can happen. You can make a Faustian bargain, and the devil comes to collect.
Right. Well,
and
It's a different kind of idea. It's a little Faustian, at the beginning, because they're making basically revenge contracts. The people that they end up taking their souls are ones that are looking for revenge. So that's why I have my designated hitters. I have Helena and Abraxas who go out and do the killing, so that they get the revenge. But in the end, I collect their soul. And then, Lucifer has me getting all these souls for him. But this one I want to run away with and have all to myself. So it's almost kind of a demented love story at the same time.
It's got all the elements we love. And now, my friend, for the ultimate question I'm going to ask you, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. For our good friends and listeners of Bonus Overdrive Wednesday, they want to learn more about you, your podcast, maybe find out more about the music you used to play, where they could stream it. Where can they find out?
Well, especially for the acting, I have some films out right now. There's a lot on YouTube. If you want to see me in creep footage, that entire series is on YouTube. I think it's Creep 13. All you have to do is look that up. Or Kevin Jenserowski, the creator, that's the one that has made those. Grind is on Fossum. Attack of the Corn Zombies and Return of the Corn Zombies are currently on Tubi, so it's for free, and you can catch them all there. All physical copies. All you got to do is reach out to me, because I got copies of just about everything that I've done. Sssstoner Snake as well. And of course, if I'm coming to your town, come down, hang out with me at whatever horror con's going on. I'm going to be at Gross Fest in Pennsylvania on the 29th of July. And I got HallowCon down there, actually, in your neck of the woods as well, August 15th. Reaper's Underground podcast you can catch on my YouTube channel, Reaper's Underground, but also on Facebook for at least 30 days before they get rid of it, since that's their new policy on lives. You can catch me live on Reaper's Underground Facebook, as well as Black Flame Entertainment. Sometimes I'll put it on my personal page too, especially if it's, I have industry people on. I always like to help, push them and all their projects that they're doing. Excellent.
And man, I'm looking forward to having you back on. I'm already booking you. You don't even know it. Looking forward to having you back later. Oh, I'm going to. Now you're stuck with me, man. And love to have you come back to the show later this year. We'll catch up, and I'm sure you have some more interesting stories to share, not only about your career, but about some of the guests you've had on your shows. And
sure.
I really appreciate you being on, and I'll see you in a few more months.
Awesome. Pleasure being here. And just for all your viewers out there, follow us. The Contract Official Movie is on Facebook, and we have a Kickstarter that starts July 1st. So you can already kind of get in line, because they are getting in line to see what the perks are for this film. I've made it very affordable. Leave Starbucks alone one day, and you can be part of this journey with us. Every dollar helps.
Absolutely. Steve Reaper, Livengood on Bonus Overdrive Wednesday. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
All content on this broadcast is a property of Diego the Podcaster and is served directly from our servers with no modification, redirects, or rehosting. All celebrity impersonators are paid performers. The impersonated celebrities do not endorse or promote any views or opinions expressed by our guests, Diego the Podcaster, or Bonus Overdrive Wednesday. The information shared on Bonus Overdrive Wednesday is provided on an as-is basis, with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness.